So it finally happened. Google has finally done live demos and I'm pretty sure they were great, right?
All of the demos we're doing today are live, by the way. Let's see if the demo spirits are with us today. Nope. Uh-oh. Looks like they're not with us.
Fine. I mean, at least they were authentic, right? Okay, anyways, the Made by Google hardware event finally happened. They launched a bunch of hardware, 4 phones, 1 watch with 2 variants, and a new TWS earbud with a dedicated chip. More on that later. But for now, in this video, we will be focusing on the phones, the 4 smartphones, the Pixel line series. Let's go. Okay, so what were the things that stood out in this launch? 4 phones. The base phone is the Pixel 9, 2 Pro phones this time, the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Yes, the star of the show, Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Why do they name these phones so long? The same design language for all the phones, same processor inside, almost similar cameras, almost similar display, and of course, the same UI in all the phones. For the first time ever, Google is offering a supersonic fingerprint sensor instead of an optical one. The Google Tensor G4 chip, Google's own processor, which they made in association with home-based DeepMind. Google claims that this chip is faster in every way: web browsing, content streaming, videography, photography, everything. Google claims that this chip is faster. And also, this phone is the first one to come with the new Gemini Nano model with multimodality. Now, what does that mean? This basically means that the Gemini Nano model in these smartphones is faster than the one they introduced back in the Pixel 8 series. How much faster? 3 times faster, as per Google, with an on-device processing speed of 45 tokens per second. Okay, let's talk about the phones specifically. The Pixel 9 base model, the Tensor G4 chip, 12 GB of RAM, a 6.3-inch Full HD display, 2700 nits of peak brightness, 4700 mAh battery, 8.5 megapixel front camera, a 50 megapixel primary camera, and a 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera. And of course, no telephoto. Now, as mentioned earlier, the Pro series has 2 phones, the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL. The only difference between these phones is the size and the battery capacity. Both of them have the Tensor G4 chipset, 16 GB of RAM, 3000 nits of peak brightness. The 9 Pro has a 6.3-inch display, while the 9 Pro XL has a 6.8-inch display. Pixel 9 Pro has the same battery as the Pixel 9, while the Pixel 9 Pro XL has a bigger battery, a 5060 mAh battery. In the camera department, again, most of the things are similar. Both the phones have the same camera unit, a 50 megapixel primary camera, a 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto camera. On the front, however, there is a 42 megapixel camera on both. Google also mentioned that the phones will have better thermals this time, which means a better vapor chamber. In layman's language, that basically means that the phone will perform better even at higher temperatures. Now, I won't speak about Pixel Fold, the Pixel Pro 9, Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Yes, now this phone Google calls the pinnacle of smartphone engineering or something like that. And this is not just a marketing hoax, this is actually literally the thinnest foldable smartphone out there. On the outside, it has a similar 6.3-inch display like the one we saw in Pixel 9 and Pixel 9 Pro. On the inside, however, it is an 8-inch wide display, which Google calls the Super Actua Flex display. 80% brighter than the previous Pixel Fold display. Split screen feature for multitasking. Again, very similar to what we saw in the Galaxy Z Fold 6. The camera island is a bit different. It is not the flat one we see in the rest of the phones. It is placed on the top left corner of the backside. The metallic frame feels solid. The frosted glass back feels very premium. And overall, and I think I can say this for all the other phones in the Pixel line series, I strongly believe that Google has finally nailed it in the flagship smartphone game. I think the only one aspect, and I've not reviewed the phone at all, this is just first impressions, the only aspect where the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold disappoints a little bit is the IP rating. The phone has a rating of IPX8, which means that it does have protection against water splashes, no protection at all against dust particles. So I guess, go Samsung. Let's talk about a bit about the software side. The G4 chip was specifically made to be faster, quicker, and just better in every way than the G3. Now, Google claims that this chip is faster for everything: web browsing, streaming, multitasking, daily work, photography, videography. Not only that, the Google Gemini Nano model seen in the Pixel 9 smartphones will be faster, as claimed by Google, and seen in the previous Pixel 8 series smartphones. Of course, this is again claimed by Google, and we are yet to see all of this in our reviews. The on-device weather app has been enhanced thanks to AI. Users will now have access to something called the Screenshots app, which is very similar to what Windows announced a few weeks earlier. Basically, when users take screenshots, those screenshots will be collected and saved in that app. Now you can search and look for specific screenshots by searching specific keywords. What the AI does is it will scan all those screenshots, be it text, be it image, with the help of those keywords. It will scan those screenshots and bring you the screenshots that match the description. I would say it's pretty handy, but still not sure how utilitarian it will be in the longer run. I mean, how many people actually look for screenshots on a regular basis? Not many. There's something called the Pixel Studio. Now, this is actually impressive because users can now create AI-generated images on device without any cloud assistance. And the impressive thing about this is that there are no fixed parameters like we see in other smartphones. This is basically very similar to what DALL-E does. The only difference is that this is completely on device and you need not be connected to the internet at all. The Magic Editor got better, actually way better. Users can now pick and highlight specific sections of a photograph and completely reimagine it. Can be compared to Galaxy AI's sketch to image. The review of all these phones will be very interesting as they will reveal much more details about how these smartphones actually operate. And that will be interesting to see because the competition in the flagship smartphone arena, or may I say flagship AI smartphone arena, is heating up. And it's getting very complex. We now not only have flagship smartphones, we have flagship foldable smartphones. Another very important thing that caught my attention during the event is that these are the first Pixel phones that did not come with the latest Android version. Yes, these phones will still have Android 14 as Android 15 is still in beta. One last very interesting thing that myself and many other journalists noticed is that if you closely look at the specs, there's not much difference between Pixel 9 and Pixel 9 Pro. And this is one of the very rare cases where the base model of a flagship smartphone is not very different from the Pro version of the flagship smartphone, like we have seen in the case of Apple as well as Samsung. So if you're getting most of the features that you get in the Pro model in the base model, why would you go for the Pro model? For an extra telephoto lens, for a brighter display, for a better front camera? It's a bit tricky, I know. Anyways, actual benchmarks and actual performance will only be seen in the in-depth reviews. For more such content on technology, keep following BWTV and BW Businessworld. My name is Deep, and I will see you next time.